Residualization. So, what is residualization of public housing? It's a concept. Residual means remainder, bakya. So, residualization of social policy means a situation where public services are increasingly used by the residual, excluded, or marginal section of the society rather than by the whole community. So, what happens is that gradually more and more people from rich and upper middle classes started using private sector facilities, which they pay for themselves or are paid by the employers, and they have good quality. Gradually, as the rich and the upper middle class moves away from the public services, what happens is that only poor or lower middle are left with the public services. For these kind of services then decreases. Taxes are paid by the rich and upper middle class. They don't want to pay for services which they don't want to use. So gradually their quality decreases. They are also socially stigmatized, meaning thereby that anybody, for example, if he lives in government provided houses such as council housing in England or projects in the US, he or she is considered unfit to be a friend or a partner. So, poor people gradually receive less and less care, less and less facilities. If you look at the residualization of the social services in case of Pakistan, we see in terms of education, where most of the upper classes, even most of the middle class, does not send its his their children to public schools. The public schools are really meant for the very poor or the marginalized. So of course the quality of the education in provided in this public schools is very low. As soon as a parent is able to finance education of his or her children in a private school, they are taken out from the public school and sent to a private school. Similar is the case of health. So, if you look at most of the rich and upper middle classes, or even the lower middle classes, they do not use the public sector hospitals. So, most of the people you will see in Mayo Hospital or Services Hospital or Gangaram Hospital are poor. Rich people will go to private sector hospitals such as National Hospital or Shifa Hospital or Aga Khan Hospital. So they will go to the clinics. So gradually, the rich, from where the leadership also comes, are not ready or are not concerned about the efficiency, effectiveness of public sector hospitals. Similar is the case of housing. Then similar is the case of security. So you see that private sector, rich and upper middle classes live in gated communities where they are protected. Then they have also guards, individual guards in front of each house and electric fences so that they are not dependent on police or public sector. Um, so the only people who are left with dependence on the public sector security services are the poor. Utilities also show the similar trend that rich and upper middle class have generators or live in communities where electricity is provided for the whole day, while poor depend on public sector and face most of the load shedding. But we also see a more sinister kind of residualization where rich people use the public services, few public services available, and leave the poor to go to the private sector, which is very wrong because of the fact that poor are already poor and they cannot pay it. So we see that communities like Barrier, Defense, and others have tap water which is potable, while poor slums don't have water and they have to buy their water. Similarly, poor communities don't have gas connections, so they have to buy gas from private contractors, much high priced as compared to those communities, rich communities, who are provided gas as well as gas pressure in their homes at a low rate.